Hi there, James Betts Football here with another update sharing my journey as a sports bettor. So if you like football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, if you like betting, check us out. But thanks for watching. So, like I talked in my previous videos, I like to choose a strong favorite. Underdogs win all the time, but I want to choose a team that's better than the opposition. And, we don't always get it right, but we learn from the mistakes. And so that's what this video is about, is share you some of my thought process and how we go about picking these teams. Now, remember, always bet responsibly. I bet $5 at a time, which ends up being $25 every week or two. And, I think people fall into a trap of confident about a result, and then they put $200 or whatever currency you use, and then it just ends up getting out of hand. So I bet $5 at a time. I'm totally okay with losing all my bets, but I'm just trying to be careful with the teams, pick only 1 or 2 games a week that I really like, and then wait, see what happens. If it wins, I put the profits into the next bet. So it's like a parlay, but on different days. So some recent wins: Spurs minus 1.5 against Burnley. Already talked about that one in a prior video. Liverpool against Newcastle. This game ended up being close, but Newcastle without Isak, and it was always going to be tough. Liverpool get the job done with their depth, but it does show some weaknesses defensively for Liverpool. They've picked up 9 points so far, but they've had some defensive lapses, and Van Dijk is clearly stronger than Konate. So that's why they tried to get Mark Guéhi in, but didn't end up. That move fell through because Crystal Palace couldn't find a replacement for Guéhi. I had Real Madrid minus 1.5 against Real Oviedo. Always going to be difficult for the newly promoted side against Real Madrid. But now on to some defeats. We had AC Milan minus 1.5 against Cremonese. Cremonese win the game, and we learned from the losses. I thought this would be a mismatch. AC Milan would be sort of angry from how last season went, but what I learned is Cremonese's managers got a number of teams out of relegation trouble, and he's sort of a specialist manager at that. And also Cremonese, very physical. They just signed Jamie Vardy, so we learn not to underestimate some of these teams now, and also not to really favor teams like AC Milan, who are not fully polished yet as a final product. I also took West Ham against Sunderland. I knew Sunderland made all these signings and that they were the home team, but I thought Jared Bowen and Paquetá would have enough in this game, but they didn't. So remember, always gamble responsibly, but this is a little bit more about how I do it, and I'll keep sharing along my journey. So if you want to see how I do, check us out. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.